Hey there, TB, Intox-Detox. I do not like this lighting. Let's try to get some better lighting here. I'm trying to graduate. I'm trying to make these... I'm propping my phone up against some stuff so I don't have to hold it the whole time, which is obnoxious because then I can't do anything with my hands. I'd like to think I'm getting better at this, but I'm probably still awful. This is my podcast number 5. Cinco. Cinq en français. I'm a French speaker. I feel like these lights could be brighter. Hold on 1 second. It's going to get amazing. I know this is terrible so far, but it's going to get amazing. Wait for it. Oh, look at that. You can actually see me now. So, a couple interesting things before I get into my outline. I always have an outline. I'm an extemporaneous speaker, which means I'm a terrible speaker. But I do my best, and I have fun, and I try to make it fun. I don't think anyone's really watching these things, so it doesn't really matter. This is more like my own personal therapy right now. But I'm trying to keep up with this. I wanted to do a couple things. Full disclosure, I had a few drinks, not completely sober. I'm not wasted. I mean, I'm just a little tipsy. Had a couple drinks with my mom, a little bit of wine, a couple martinis, maybe a couple Jello shots. I'll tell you about that in a second because that's important. But I think I'm good for like one more beer, and I definitely need to take some Intox-Detox before I go to bed because I think I might have just slightly overshot my 1 pack. So I'm going to take another pack. I'm actually going to show you. I'm going to do a visual, what is the demonstration? Yeah, demonstration of how to take the product. Number 1, got my Intox-Detox beer opener. I'm going to open this beer. This is my last beer. I know when to call it quits. I got to go to bed. It's getting late. I need to stop. But I wanted to do this podcast. I wanted to do it fun. So I'm having a little bit of beer, okay? I am still light. I'm also going to take this pack because I'm about ready to go to bed. I know. See, sometimes people complain, oh, I took Intox-Detox and it didn't work. Well, it's science. It's not a miracle. It's not magic. So most likely, if it didn't work for you, you drank too much or you didn't understand the dose dependency. I understand well the dose dependency because I've been using the product for 4 years since we developed it. And I know that if you hit a certain threshold, usually it's like, let's call it 4 to 6 strong drinks. If you're going to go past that point and go on, as sometimes we do, let's all just admit to it. Sometimes we do it. Is it right? No. But it happens. So let's live in the real world. Let's not live in an ideal world. And, you need to double up sometimes. You need to make that happen because of the dose dependency. So I'm doing that now. I've got my other beverage here. Of course, people ask all the time, can you take this with beer? Of course you can. But, I prefer to take it with water or something, another beverage, because it just, I don't know, I don't want to be chugging my beer. Like, I'm savoring my beer. I'm enjoying my cocktail or whatever I'm drinking. So, anyway, okay, that's done. Wow, I'm really glad I didn't gag on that, because sometimes I do. I know, I don't like the pills either. A lot of people don't like the pills. I don't love them either. But it's a means to an end. It's certainly better than feeling terrible tomorrow. So let's get down into this podcast. A lot of exciting things going on. I know I say that every time, but this is my life. There are exciting things going on. I'm going to talk about something that's completely off the script. Like, this is not even on my outline. And I am an obsessive outliner. I outline everything. What I'm going to do today, what I'm going to do for the weekend, go to the gym, pick up my daughter. Everything's on the list. I always outline. Okay. I hear my mom moving upstairs, so she comes down and she gets into this. Just know that could happen. She could show up at any moment, which is fine. I'll welcome her onto the podcast. It's fine. I think she's half asleep. We've had a few drinks and she fell asleep. We were watching shows together. We were watching Grace and Frankie. She's into This Is Us. I'm not so into it. It's just not really my thing, but she loves it, so I watched it with her. We're hanging out because my stepdad's out of town and she doesn't like to be alone. So here I am drinking wine with her as a charity and other stuff. But anyway, speaking of shows, I was talking about This Is Us, not my favorite. Speaking of shows, I'm actually now returning to the world of screenwriting, which I did. If you don't know this about me, I did that I moved to Los Angeles when I was 25 years old. That's kind of dating me. I'm clearly not 25 years old anymore. I'm much older. But I went to Los Angeles for 5 years and I did screenwriting, and I feel like I did all right. Like I had some deals. I optioned some scripts, which means I made money at it. I never made enough money that I felt satisfied that I could have a life doing that. I have regrets. I wish I had grinded more. I wish I had stuck to it, but I did 5 years and I turned 30 and I got sick of being broke. But I'm still broke anyway. I guess it's just my personality. I'm just the startup guy. I'm this guy. And a big part of me graduating in life is getting to where I'm not startup anymore. I'm legitimized, and that's a big part of what I want to do. But there's a part of my heart that I left back in Pasadena, California, with one of my best friends, Kobe Tolan, who he's went to film school, and we've always written and done things together. Amazing guy, very creative, one of the smartest people I know in the world. Next to me, of course. That goes without saying. But ultimately, we are getting back into writing together, writing a show that is called Drunkles. And maybe I'll talk about that another time. But I'll leave you a teaser. Drunkle, I saw a t-shirt on Facebook and it said Drunkle. And it was kind of like a dad, only way drunker. I've been an uncle. I am a dad, but I've been an uncle. Kobe's an uncle. I mean, we were like, this is a show that we can write, and there's much more to come on that. But I'll deliver you my one other little teaser log line, which is this: Drunkles swapping screaming babies for ice cold beers since the beginning of time. You're welcome for that. That gives you a little insight into what it is. But let's move on down the line because I'm in serious jeopardy of getting lost in this thing, and maybe partially because I've had a couple of drinks, but that's okay. Usually I can find my way, and I will. I'm happy to be writing again, working on a project that I care about, returning to a place in my life where, I've been gone for a while. I've been out of that screenwriter world, and it feels good to revisit it. But let's get back to this other world, the world where we drink beer. We take some Intox-Detox. We protect our livers, and we don't feel terrible tomorrow. It's a pretty cool world. I mean, just don't ever let anyone say I didn't do anything with my life or that I wasn't bold and I didn't try stuff. But this, let's talk about this. I thought about a new slogan for Intox-Detox, and I want to share it with you. And you can email me, info@intox-detox.com, and tell me what you think. Because, we maybe overcomplicate things all the time, and we're like, drilling down into the science, and I'm talking about ALDH2, I'm talking about acetaldehyde, and liver, and alcohol metabolism, all the stuff that's just right over everyone's head. I got that. I can go there. Like if you're a medical professional, if you understand that stuff, great, we can go there. But most people don't want to hear that shit. They just want to know what's the main idea? What's the headline? The headline is all natural stuff you could take when you're drinking and not feel terrible. I mean, I think that's what most people care about. And the other thing is helps to protect your liver. Liver's really important for anti-aging. Your liver's like the most important organ. I mean, obviously your brain's pretty important, your heart, and it's kind of like just does its thing all the time. Very critical. All of these things are critical, but without your liver, you could not live. That's why it's called a liver. It helps you live. So we're into that. Anyway, very simple slogan. I thought about this. I was like, I was thinking like philosophically, which I do a lot, and which is a lot of times like also right over people's heads. But just listen to me for a second, because I have a point. I think I might not. It might be nonsense. But so my original thing I wrote down was be the well, drink from the well, drink and be well. It's maybe a little too hoity-toity. So then I simplified and I said drink and be well. Like Dave Matthews Band is like, eat, drink, and be merry. And is like Virginia, South Africa, South African, like Virginia, UVA, but also from South Africa, but white and good looking and just, yeah. Bet you he's got a harem of wives. I'm going to try not to be jealous. I'm going to try to be happy for him. Anyway, eat, drink, and be merry is like a really cool thing, right? Like live your life, have fun to the fullest, blah, blah, blah. So the button that Intox-Detox puts on that is do that, but like also try to stay healthy. So drink and be well. That would be the slogan. I've wasted a lot of time like getting nowhere in this thing so far. Maybe I should drink more. That tastes productive. Let's talk about the Intox-Detox logo. Because a lot of people are like, why? Why do that? Why have your logo be like that? I don't know if you can see. Where it's like, it's confusing. It's hard to read. Most people are like, into detox I'm like, no, look, it's Intox-Detox. The fact that you had to ask me means that it's working. Disney, like the D looks like a G. I'm sorry, it just does. Like I'm like Disney, like what is that? Coca-Cola, what is that? Like somebody like wrote it in cursive when they were dying. It looks terrible. It's terrible. Like logos are like ideas and technology. Like the bar keeps getting set higher and higher, and like the ones that came first had a clear advantage because there was nothing else. And now we got to do this to get noticed. And I think it's amazing. I think this, and there's a whole philosophy that I have that goes into this logo. I know that might sound like BS, but it's true. I'm going to explain it to you. I think that life is like this logo. I've set the bar high now for me to try to explain this. But if you do too much Intox, you get into trouble. You don't feel good. It affects your health. If you do too much detox, then you're just that guy who won't eat cake at your daughter's birthday party, which is ridiculous. Every once in a while, just have a piece of cake. It's okay. Your life will be better for it. You might not have a six-pack every single day, but guess what? We all have six-packs when we're dead, and they're called ribs because all of your flesh goes away and you are just a skeleton. So, I mean, you can look forward to that, or you can say, I'll eat a couple pieces of cake, I'll drink a couple beers, I'll enjoy my life. The point is balance. You intox, you detox. You intox, you detox. It's balance. Like, don't go too far in one direction. Try to have balance. And that's what I like about it. The logo reminds me of an infinity symbol where you just go like that and you have balance in your life and in the world. You can do bad things, you can do good things, you can balance it out, and it's like the Force, it's like Star Wars, kind of, I guess. There's a balance of things, and we are sort of just like, what's the expression? Actors or players on the main. What is the Shakespeare thing? Clearly, I'm not smart enough to reference that right now. But anyway, the point is you're here to do something. And if you do nothing, then that sucks. If you do everything, well, you're not the only one here. Like, leave some for the other guys, There was a guy who became a friend of mine, and I'm sad that we have not maintained connection, but I met him in France, and he's a screenwriter. He inspired me to be a screenwriter. His name's Russell Goertz. Very nice guy. He was like 35 when I was 21. So that means he must be dead by now. Just kidding. I hope he's well. But he said something to me once because I was 21 and I was like drinking every drink that I could get because I was young and stupid and I just wanted to like drink a lot and try to hit on chicks. It's not that different from now, actually. Okay, let me unpack that and deal with my existential crisis. But the point is he said, there are factories all over the world producing all the alcohol you could ever drink, and you can have a slow night. You can not have a drink. You can enjoy yourself, lay on the beach, take a nap, do other things. And when you want it will be there when you come back. And like, to me, that communicated like balance. Like, you got to have balance. I'm going to move on from there because I have to say this. We've made a really good connection with a local brewery, Old Ox in Loudoun County, Virginia, which is actually where I'm from. I mean, I was born in Fairfax County, but, most of my life I spent in Loudoun County, Virginia. First in Sterling and then Ashburn, now Leesburg. I also spent a lot of my life in other places, Florida and California and Pennsylvania. College, screenwriting, my early retirement in Florida. That's a whole other thing. We'll talk about that another time. But so we're getting tight with Old Ox Brewery. I mean, they're one of the best. They're one of the biggest in Loudoun County, and I couldn't be happier about it. I mean, I love those guys. This guy, Chris Burns, I just met him, but he's pretty badass. He's got his beard is, well, I don't have a beard, so his is clearly the winner. No, very nice guy and great beer. I mean, I love the place. They got the cornhole tournaments. We're going to the chili fundraiser on Saturday, and I want to let you know that. So if you're around, come out, come see me, because I'll be there. I'm going to put in some time there, and then I'm going to move on to some other breweries because Papa's got things to do. I got to meet everybody's. I mean, I'm very, 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 what's the word? Humbled and grateful that Chris is going to try us on and maybe sell our stuff there. So that would be our first brewery in Virginia to do that. And we have a lot in Florida and a couple in other places, and we want more because we want to take over the world in a nice way by eliminating hangovers. But still, definitely, I want to take over the world. Like, I want to own islands where we can go, all of my customers and my friends, and we can drink some margaritas on the beach like on our own personal island and not get hangovers. I mean, like, who doesn't want that? Like, that's the life. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to eat some chili. I'm going to pass out some stuff. I have an exciting new thing that I'm trying, and I might bring some out. I don't know how they feel about me bringing Jello shots to a brewery, so I might have to keep them to myself, but we're gonna feel that out and see how it goes. So here's the bigger point. In my new events, I've just had this idea, and I just tested the prototype tonight, which is why I said I had Jello shots with my mom, because we have to test them. You know, I would not put anything in your mouth, in your face, in your body until I've had it myself. So what I thought was, people like Jello shots. People don't always like to take capsules. So what we can do is, I made Jello shots with Intox-Detox in them. So they have vodka, Jello, and they taste great, but they also protect your liver and help you not to get a hangover. So the people hanging out with me this weekend, I don't know if I can name them by name, but they are good friends. I will name them by their first names: Justin, Brandy, and Autumn. And they're going to get to try these things for the first time before anyone else. And it's a pretty sweet idea. Like, if you could just eat a Jello shot and, like, boom, or eat 3 Jello shots and, like, that's your liver protection. That's your, preventing feeling terrible the next morning. I'm always doing my FDA dance. Woo, FDA dance, walking on eggshells. How's that treating you guys? Is it going well for you guys? Because I don't want to get into it. I don't want to make anybody mad. I actually do, but I'm not going to. I'll save that for another time. My friend's little sister actually used to work at FDA, and I would love to have her on here, and we could have like a little sparring session. Eventually, I'm going to actually do podcasts with people on here besides me. I mean, I know I'm awesome and all, but like, I'm sure there's more interesting people than me. We'd love to get some celebrities on here, other than me, of course. This huge celebrity that nobody knows who I am. But I do feel that I've done something important in the world. Or I've tried to, anyway. At the very least, give me that. But yeah, do I want Zane Lamprey on here? Yes. Anthony Bourdain? I don't know if he would take my stuff, but he probably should. Do I want to be on Drunk History? Yes, I do. These are my heroes. But, like, who am I? I'm just this little guy. I'm just David to their Goliath. And, but I will not be forever. No. Oh, no. Who else is putting hangover remedies in Jello shots? Nobody. All my competitors are terrified. They should be terrified, because I'm like, my R&D is like ridiculous. I will destroy them all. Let's move on. So yeah, eventually you might be able to eat your Intox-Detox in a Jello shot, or like a gummy bear, or like something, preferably with alcohol in it. Last thing I'm going to say, usually I go out on a high note. I feel like this is going to go out on a low note, unless I can think of something quick. I need a St. Patrick's Day event for us to go to. Last year, me and my best friend, my other best friend, I got really let's call it 3 best friends. Kobe Tolan, Kerry Wilt, and Andy Furtick. Those are 3 of my best friends in the world ever. And if I left somebody out, I mean, my sister and my mom probably qualify. My daughter. But I really don't have a lot of friends. Like, I have a few really good friends, and those are some of them. But last year, Carrie and I did a St. Patrick's Day event and had a blast. I mean, like, I love St. Patrick's Day. I think that people drink too much, and they need to understand dose dependency that I was talking about before with Intox-Detox. if they want to take it on St. Paddy's Day. Look, I hate the fact. Look, I'm an Irish person. I'm a real like my grandfather's born there. I'm getting Irish citizenship because like that's how Irish we are. But like, I think people like they forget that it's actually a religious holiday. Only in America is it a drinking holiday. In Ireland, you go to church. In Virginia, you go to the bar, which ipso facto, the bar is my church. So whatever. I have no problem with it, but it's just kind of funny to me. It's like when you're Irish, every day is St. Patrick's Day, and other people are just like, let's drink our faces off and be stupid. I mean, not that I haven't done that. I'm just saying, like, I'm happy to join you in it, but it's just probably not the best idea. And it's one of those nights like New Year's Eve when you might need more than one of these guys because it's not magic, it's science, it's dose dependent. So if you're going to drink your face off, well, you better swallow pills your face off. So I'm going to try to make it easier by letting you eat Jello shots your face off instead of pills, right? But I am looking for recommendations because I know there's like Shamrock Fest. I'm in DC area. I'm looking for things locally to do where I can make an impact. I don't want to spend a fortune. And I want to have fun. Maybe Papa wants a few drinks because I like to drink too on St. Patrick's Day. But, when it comes to my priorities, number one would be trying to help you not feel terrible the next morning. That's number one. Remember that. I'm a very selfless person. I've done this company. This is weird. What is happening there? I've done this company to create a hangover-free world. And I don't want hangovers, but I mean, why am I doing this if not for you? Like I could just have the secret at home by myself and never give it to anybody. But I feel like I'm selling it at quite a reasonable price, $3.99, not to get a hangover. And if you're gonna get crazy, you might have to double up. You might have to spend $8. Oh dear God, $8. How fast can you spend $8 at a bar, especially on St. Patrick's Day? Forget about it. So is there any other events? Like tell me, info@intox-detox.com. Invite me to your event. Maybe I'll show up. I mean, maybe I want to come to your party. Invite me. But we'll probably end up somewhere. I'm not sure. Reston Town Center, Arlington. Maybe just a brewery that likes us, that actually wants us around. We want to be where people want us, and also people who like green Jello shots that prevent hangovers. Anyway, that's about it. This is the longest one yet. I got to go. I got to get out of here. I got to drink the rest of this beer. I got maybe like one more episode of Peaky Blinders in me. I'm loving this show, and I'm almost done with this series, and I'm dreading being done. But that's what's on my agenda. So I don't know what you're doing. You want to hang out? You want to come to my house like right now? Because I'm not doing anything. Actually, I'm going to sleep. So probably not a good idea. But some other time. Or come see me at Old Ox this Saturday at the chili fundraiser that they're having. And then I'm going to move on from there. I'm going to hit some other breweries. And you won't know what those are. But if you message me or email me, or if you know me, text me, I'll tell you where I'm going to be and you can come hang out with me. What a treat that would be for me and you, but mostly me. All right, AB out. I love you. If you've been watching these, I love you because I don't believe anybody's really watching this, but I'm going to keep doing it anyway. Eventually, I'm going to get like Jack Black, and we're going to do like comedians in car. We're going to do karaoke. We're going to do all kinds of stuff. So hang in there because it's not good yet, but it's getting good any second now. So just hold your breath because you're about to be amazed. AB out.